Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Azizah Binti Mohamad. My number matric is 283503. So today I am presenting my assignment for Human Resource Management class. In Human Resource Management, there are a few important subjects such as staffing, human resource development, performance management, compensation, safety and health, and the last one, employee and labor relation. The topic I have chosen is human resource development. Human resource development or HRD refer to employee training, career development, performance development, mentoring, coaching, tuition assistance, and other activities that are related to developing a workforce. HRD is considered the key to higher productivity and better productivity because it helps employees develop the knowledge, skill, and attitude an employer wants in its employees. It can also increase job satisfaction for employees and open lines of communication among team members. We usually have two options for human resource development: formal training or informal training. Formal training could include in-class training, professional workshop, or college courses that could add value to the company. Some of the most common workplace training topics include sexual harassment and discrimination prevention, and also safety and risk management. On the other hand, informal training include internal training and development classes taught by a consultant or internal staff. It could also include employee coaching or mentoring by a manager or more senior staff. Internal management training is critical to helping employees develop their strengths and contribute to an organization. This type of HRD training could be provided through on-the-job training, coaching from the manager, supervisor, or more challenging work assignment. It could also include self-study classes, internal work assignment, and field trip. In this assignment, I will use my company Low Capsis Sendian Berhad as the example. Low Capsis Sendian Berhad is a leading global manufacturer of closure liner packaging. Established in 1992, this company started with only a few lamination and punching machines. Today, Low Capsis Sendian Berhad has become one of the industry leaders, supplying more than 1 billion pieces of silk annually to more than 25 countries in the world. In Malaysia, we are the sole manufacturer and supplier for closure liner packaging, who is capable of providing an end-to-end solution to meet all the industry requirements. Currently, my company has around 90 workers. Human resource development is one of the main focuses of our management in the company. This is because HRD is very important for the success of the company. Due to fierce competition, the company has to purchase better machines from time to time and use more advanced manufacturing techniques for increased productivity, cost reduction, and improvement of product quality. However, unless a person is trained, the quality and quantity of performance cannot be improved, even though we may have machines and equipment of latest technology. Hence, it is very important for the company to provide training to the workers to ensure they will be able to operate the machine and equipment effectively. In addition, HRD is also very important in LCS because it can help to improve job satisfaction. We want to create a favorable climate for learning in order to encourage the worker to take initiative to learn more. With higher degree of skill, they can perform their tasks better, and as a result, they get higher degree of job satisfaction. This is providers' solution to main labor problem and help to maintain good industrial relation in the organization. Other than that, through HRD effort, the employees also become more competent and motivated. Talented employees like to work in a good organizational climate. If they are satisfied at their work and facility provided to them, then they would more likely to stay with the organization for a longer period. In the present competitive environment, it is difficult to procure good employees, but it is more difficult to retain them. Through HRD process, the company help to develop the employees and help them to achieve their career goal. This help to reduce the turnover rate, and the company is able to retain their key talents to get competitive advantages. Even though HRD is very important, it's not easy to implement it effectively. There are a few issues that the company normally faces when planning and implementing HRD. The first challenge that HR in LCS commonly faces is identifying the training need accurately. Since HR is not directly involved in the daily operation in each department, it's challenging for HR department to design training programs that can help employees to improve their performance effectively. Okay, the second challenge that HR department always encounter is providing the needed training program. Even if HR department manage to identify the training needs to the employee accurately, with the help from every department, it's not easy to create internal training program or to find an external training that can cater to the exact needs. For example, some training requires trainer with very specific set of skills, so it might be difficult to identify the correct trainer. Okay, the third challenge is the implementation of the training. The implementation of the training requires a significant resources support from the management of the company. Most of the external training requires a big amount of money, and management of the company might not be willing to invest. Other than that, proper facilities are needed for HR department to implement any kind of training. It is not easy to get the support from management to invest in these facilities as well. Okay, in order to overcome the challenges above, our HR department will first conduct training need analysis. A training need analysis looks at the knowledge, skill, and ability of our employees to determine what type of training they need to move our company toward its objective. A training need analysis, or TNA, focuses on our organizational goal and objective, and then figure out the tasks and people needed to get there. It gathers some baseline data about where our employees are starting, so that you can give them the tools they need to meet your company goals. The first step in TNA is to first decide on organizational goal and objective. We need to make sure that the management is on board and ready to focus on this objective. The second step in TNA is to identify the knowledge, skill, and ability needed to meet our objective. In this step, we need to carefully break down what employees need to know, understand, and are able to do at the end of training to meet your stated goals. The last step in TNA is to figure out what employees know is in order to identify the skill and knowledge gap. There are a few ways this information can be collected, including using questionnaires or survey form, examining employee work, and conducting formal assessment. This is a sample of T&A form used in LCS. On top of that, our HR department will also talk to employees to ask them what they need to do their job better. If the information After completing the T&A, our HR department will match the training program according to the training needs. Matching the training to the needs means making sure we have the right amount of training. Focus on exactly what employees need in order to meet our organizational goal from step 1. Because employees have too little time for training as it is. So HR department wants to make sure they are getting what they need when they need it. After HR department has identified the objective of the training program, they need to make training plan and choose training provider that are able to deliver the training effectively. This is a sample of annual training plan for worker in LCS. Finally, after completing the arrangement and planning of training program, HR department needs to make sure that they can be implemented effectively. If on-the-job training is needed, then HR need to arrange proper coaching, mentoring, job rotation, etc. to make sure that the employees are able to learn while working at their own workstation. There are two main benefits with on-the-job training. Firstly, workers are given the opportunity to do hand-on training and this allows them to learn more effectively. Secondly, it is more cost-effective because we do not need to prepare additional training resources. This is a sample of on-the-job training record in LCS. For certain training, we need to utilize off-the-job training because some training requires additional tools for learning purpose. Safety training is one of the off-the-job training that we conduct regularly in order to train all of our workers. The benefit of off-the-job training is that it allows us to control the training setting and train more people at the same time. These are some photos of the safety training conducted in my company. Off-the-job training will usually consume more monetary resources and therefore HR must obtain the approval of management before conducting this kind of training. Finally, in order to evaluate the effectiveness of the training program, our HR department will use a few methods to measure the improvement of the worker. One of the most commonly used methods is training evaluation form. This form will be given to the participant to evaluate the quality of the training. Here is a sample of the training evaluation form used in LCS. Another method that is used regularly is performance monitoring. HR department will monitor the performance of a participant before and after the training to see if the training has helped improving his or her performance. All these steps are necessary for HR to evaluate the quality of a training program so that they can improve or expand the training accordingly. Even though our HR department has been conducting human resource development in the company, there is one important thing that often gets overlooked, and it is employee career development. Career development is the support an organization provides to employee professional growth. HRD usually focus on short-term training with short-term objectives, whereas career development usually involves a series of activities in an ongoing process of developing certain individuals to be key persons in the company. My company normally only conduct short-term training without taking career development into consideration, and this should be improved. HR department should take more proactive approach to match an individual needs, ability and career goal with current and future opportunity in the organization. In conclusion, human resource development is important in a company to develop the knowledge, skill and attitude of the employees so that their employees can perform at the optimal level. In order to conduct HRD successfully, HR needs to follow 4 specific steps. The first step is to identify training needs in the company. This is followed by matching training program to the training needs. HR needs to make sure that the correct training program are provided to the employees so that the skill and knowledge gap can be filled. Next, HR need to ensure the success of training implementation by making sure sufficient resources are provided. Finally, HR need to conduct training evaluation to understand the effectiveness of the training program and if retraining is needed in the future. Other than HRD, HR department should also look into employee career development to help develop the talent in the company to assume key position in the company. By doing so, the company will be able to achieve greater success.